Hey guys, Kev here, and I have some new knives to show you. So, we have 3 knives from a company called Dashkoff knives, okay? They are out of Russia, and they have these 3 knives that they sent me, which was awesome. I really appreciate them. The designer, owner, operator reached out to me and asked if I could give them some feedback. And I said, hails to the yeah, I would be glad to do so. So that is where we are at. You can check out their website. It's Dashkoff Knives. I think it's .ru. I'll pull it up real quick here. Dashkoff Knives. So if you go to the old googly machine and you search Dashkoff Knives, you can click on this store right here. If you want to get some information on the knives, you can, of course, click here, go to products, and then you can see all of the knives they currently have on there. Now, because they are in Russia, I don't think you can just go on the website and order one. I tried to add one to my cart. It said it was out of stock. So I think what you need to do is hit them up on Instagram and talk to them. Figure it out. There's some way you got to pay crypto, some nonsense. You know, Russia, Ukraine war, you got sanctions and whatnot. So just keep all that in mind. But if you really love one of these and you want to pick one up, you can get in touch with them on Instagram. That would probably be the best way. And if they have another way they want you to contact them, they can leave it down in the comments, like an email address or something like that. So there's some different stuff going on here. This one is Virtus Coulter. I think they're all the same. They're Dashkoff knives, but this one is under like a sub brand or something. Not exactly sure, but let's check out the knives and stop rambling. So one cool thing with all of these is they come with spare hardware. I think that's very important if you are a company selling out of a different country. If you don't want to be shipping spare parts across the ocean constantly because things happen. Like I just had a guy hit me up. Actually, I had 2 guys hit me up in the last couple of days. One guy lost a tall boy clip screw, and another guy lost a body screw on a nip slip. It happens. The screws start loosening. You don't notice. It happened to me recently. I checked all my nip slips. I had to tighten all the screws. So if you have a nip slip, check them. But he hit me up, and I shipped him a screw, of course, right? But if they're international, it's a pain in the ass to ship, stuff like that all the time. In the U.S., we pay like $4 or $5 to ship it to the person, plus the cost of the screw, which is very cheap, and we just send it for free, right? But if it were this company, they'd probably have to charge you, and you'd probably pay like $50 to get a freaking screw. So anyway, long story short, they include a hardware set with all the screws. I really like that. The other knives even come with like bearings and pins and stuff, I believe, and we'll look at that in a second. So right here, this is the Stinger Tactical, and then these other ones are the Stinger Liner Locks. They're a more premium version. The designer is Eugene Dashkoff. That's who I chatted with on Instagram. Nice dude, really friendly, rooting for the guy. Blade steel is MagnaCut, and the handle material is aluminum. And then there's a skull grade of 2. The date of manufacture is, it looks like December 1st, 2024. If you're not familiar, in Europe, they put the date, then the month, then the year. But there's some information for you. And let's check out the knife. Comes in a nice pouch and box. Aluminum scale, so you have black aluminum on top, and then you have proud liners underneath. I believe it's titanium. We'll double check that. Really nice detent on this one. One thing I already gave them feedback on, there's a couple things, which we'll talk about here, of course, is lock bar access. We don't have any. Well, okay, you have this little cut right here, but you don't really have any cut back. It's easy to use. You can get your finger in there and disengage it. These knives are on, I would say, the thicker end. At least they feel that way. I'll go ahead and measure them to confirm, but I feel like they're a little thick, which some people are going to like because it's comfortable in the hand that way. But because of that, there's a little space in there, so you can get your finger in pretty easily. But I'd love to see a little bit of a cutout here so you can get that finger in there nice and easy. That's what she said. But the thumb studs are really nice. These are made overseas, of course. The company is Russian, but the knives are made in China. I did confirm the OEM, I believe. But I am not going to disclose because I don't believe they are disclosing it, and I don't want to be that person. But it obviously contributes to what the prices are, which is my biggest gripe with these, and something I talked to Eugene about, is they're just too expensive. If somebody really, really loves the design and stuff, you know, maybe you would spend it. This one right here is $400. So you have aluminum scales. And then you have a really nice Magna Cut blade. So you do get premium materials, but you should for $400, right? Let's see about those liners. I think they're titanium. Yep, titanium clip. So that's good. That's just the pivot barrel catching there. The studs are steel. Interesting. The studs are steel. Not that that's a big deal, but anyway, it's all bead blasted. Really smooth action. I mean, it is really nice. It's a very, very good OEM. But yeah, drops shut with one little shake there. I mean, I don't even have to shake. I just have to swing the blade and it closes. There's a little hole right here. I didn't notice that till right now. And maybe that's just so you can maybe stick something in there to help you twist it. I don't know. I didn't even notice that. Looks like it's just on one, too. But that makes sense, because if you loosen one... Oh, there it goes. So it was easy to loosen without that. If you loosen one, you're obviously loosening the other as well. But I guess you could stick something in there. That's what she said. Stick something in the hole. He said that, actually. And then you could crank that. I don't know, maybe. But it would have to be something pretty sturdy that's that thin. Dead nut centered. Pocket clip is titanium. It is loop over. But it works really well. It looks really good. It is not reversible. Another thing that I would like to see on a knife with a liner lock like this. I would really like to see a reversible clip, but hey, what are you going to do? But yeah, it's $400, and that's kind of my biggest issue with the knives. I really like them. The pricing's just, for the U.S. market, that's just kind of out of whack a bit. You know, aluminum, titanium liners, and Magna Cut. It's a very strange combination to see. But, you know, I would like to see this knife at $250. Probably max $250 because of the aluminum scales. It does say on here, Knife Boutique. So this might be some kind of exclusive for Knife Boutique. If that's the case, you can always look them up. Maybe you can get them there too. But it is nice. I got to say that. And I have talked to them about the pricing, and they've said they have switched OEMs. They're now using like an unknown small shop in China. This is what a lot of people do to try to find better pricing. And so I think in the future, the Dashkoff knives are going to be more affordable. But that's the Stinger Tactical. Then we have the Stinger liner lock. Let me show you this one first, because that other one's my favorite. Here is the package. A little bit, I don't know, the pouch is the same, I guess. Maybe a different patch there. Then you have this cloth in here, which is cool. It's got Dashkoff on it. You have a card. These are going to be an M398, which is really cool. It's a different steel. You don't see a lot. It's kind of like Bowler's version of S90V, but it's a little bit different. It has very good edge retention. I think it's corrosion resistant. Not like amazingly, but decently. And it's not the toughest steel. It's comparable to S90V. But basically, you take M398, you dip down the corrosion resistance and up the edge retention. It's something like that. You can, of course, go to Knife Steel Nerds and nerd out and get the real nitty gritty on it. That's just my really simpleton explanation. You're looking at titanium or fat carbon. It's not both on this one. Designed in Russia, Dashkoff knives, blah, blah, blah. This one was made, it looks like, on February 1st of 2024. So this is actually the previous model or the older model. Maybe they took this version and then they made that tactical version out of it for Knife Boutique or something. I'm not sure. Here you get a full hardware kit, which is really nice. So you're going to get the bearings in there. You're going to get a pivot assembly. You get all of the screws and hardware. You get washers. You get a steel insert, which is really nice to see. And then here is the knife. And again, I really like this design. If you guys know me, you know that this is my style. It is a drop point, spear point style blade, but it has a downward angle. It's not, it's not a sheep's foot, but it's very much in line with something I would like. It's titanium, right? It's got premium steel. A lot of things that I dig on this. And you'll see the next version is my favorite one. But you have this really nice titanium with milling. And again, you still have the liners, which is interesting. This is where, if I'm giving feedback, which was the point of sending these to me, I would drop those liners and thin this puppy out. You could go thinner with it and do no liners, because I don't think you need that. I mean, you could do an inset liner, like a nested liner with the tab and everything. And then this side doesn't even need a liner. You could just make the top scale a little bit thicker and mill it out, which they did. They milled out pockets in there. It's hard to see. Show you with my Woobin here that they sent me. This is their PL01 or something. It's their pen light. It's actually really nice. But here you can see it's all milled out. They did a good job with that, but it's still got some weight to it, Again, lock bar access, none. You can get in there again, but this one's a little tougher because this one's not quite as thick as, well, maybe it is. We'll check that in a second here. But I struggle with this one a little bit. My finger pinches behind that bar because I don't really have anywhere to put the rest of the meat on my thumb, so I have to kind of go like this, and then it pinches my skin under it, which is obviously not ideal. And that's doing it right-handed. If I do it left-handed, it's worse. Then it really pinches. My skin gets caught in there, which is not great. So I'd love to see more lock bar access. They added a little notch here for centering, which is really nice. I mean, overall, the knife is really nice. The clip is excellent, looks good, feels good, works in pocket, internally mounted. I mean, the hole shape is excellent. That is obviously one of the differences. They have studs on this one, hole on this one. I actually like how both of them look. I don't really have a preference. But as a function, for functionality, I do prefer the hole, of course. The detent on this here example is a little bit softer than this one and the next one I'm going to show you. So they are going to vary a little bit. Like, I can fail it, but I mean, if I flick it, it's fine. You can fail anything, really. It's not bad. It's just, it's not like as strong as I would like it. You do have a flat grind on all of these. You can see the plunge grind here. It does extend past the edge termination or right up to it. So sharpening, you're probably going to end up with a smile pretty quickly. This one is actually better. If you see here, the plunge grind is back here. So you have a little bit of space there before you're going to hit that plunge grind. And again, I think this one was after, so they probably made some improvements from this to that. And that's probably why this one doesn't pinch you. This one feels good, So they are evolving, which is really cool. I like the DK down here, which is kind of ironic, actually, because DK for Dashkoff knives, DK for Divo knives, baby. I like how they do it. It's very Donkey Kong-esque. Looks cool. Nice milling. I think I went over that already. Let's check out the carbon fiber version. So this is a fat carbon. I'm not positive which fat carbon it is. You're going to get the same cool stuff with it. Now this one's going to be lighter weight because those top scales are going to be carbon fiber. Still got that beautiful milling. I love the hardware on here. Look at that. So you have Chicago screws, which is really cool. So this side's completely clean, and this side has all the screw heads, which is nice. Non-reversible clip, of course, but I think that's fine on a build like this because it's more premium. Nice notch. Now the D10 on this one, nice and crisp, snaps out of there, feels really good. And you can, of course, adjust the position of where you fire it from. If you fire it from up here, it's going to feel nice and strong. If you fire it from all the way down here, it'll be a little easier to break, but still crisp. Excuse me. It looks like dark matter copper, I think, on the fat carbon. That thumb hole is wide enough to get your finger in there and really flick it, so she said. Oops, that was me. So on this knife, you have, well, both of them really. You have a horizontal satin on the flats, and then you have a blast on the bevel, which is pretty cool. Now, it is going to be more prone to rusting because of that. With M398, that would be a little bit of a concern for me. With MagnaCut on this one, I think that's not a problem at all. And honestly, the blast on this one looks a little bit nicer. It's like a heavier blast. So it is possible that the OEM on this one is that new OEM versus the previous one that I'm going to be a jerk about and not tell you. Which it shouldn't matter. You know, it's a company that's selling these, and the quality is really good. That's not the concern. The concern is the price. These are $550. So $550 for these, $400 for this one. So for a $150 upgrade, you do get titanium and M398, and you get the nice pocket clip and the milling and everything versus aluminum scales, loop over clip, and MagnaCut. You know, anybody watching this in the US is going to know those prices are high, and it just is what it is. Like I said, I've discussed it with Eugene. He's already working on that, so you know, no need to roast them in the comments or anything. It just is what it is. And I'm really grateful that he sent these to me for that feedback, right? And that's really important for newer companies or companies in general, overseas companies. They need that information from people who are not going to sugarcoat things or whatever. They're just too expensive. They need lock bar access, in my humble opinion. That could be a subjective opinion in that case. Other than that, they're very, very nice. Well made. I really like them. The presentation is really good. All of it's really good. So let's check out the thicknesses on all of these. I'm pretty sure these two are going to be the same, but we're going to check. So we're going to do this in inches, and maybe we'll switch over and do millimeters. So right up to the clip, 0.523. So really not that thick, 13.5 millimeters. That's not bad at all, actually. So let's see what this one is. I feel like it's going to be, yeah, okay, it's going to be thicker. This one, the clip is a little bit longer, but 0.57, 14.5 on the millimeters. So that's a chunky boy. I would venture to say that this one is acceptable in my world. This one is a little bit too thick in my world. That doesn't mean other people aren't going to love it, etc. There are some designs that just work well thicker. So this one, honestly, I thought was going to come out thicker, but it is very ergonomic in the hand. Very ergonomic. This one also feels good in the hand. It's just a little too thick for my liking. Less about ergonomics, more about like in the pocket and whatnot. It's just a little too thick. But this one's really nice. I really do think if they switch this over to a nested liner setup, it would really dial it in. But, you know, maybe the proud liner thing is part of designs in Russia. I don't know. But I really do like these designs overall. You have the pig snout, lanyard hole, really big there, so you're not going to have any trouble getting a lanyard in. Overall, very nice knives. And you guys have heard my thoughts about them. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Big shout out to Eugene at Dashkoff Knives. Really appreciate him, you know, giving me the opportunity to check these out. I'm going to throw these into the pass around group. So you'll probably see these on some other channels. I think I saw Ray from Everyday City Carry get a set of these as well. So definitely check out his thoughts on them. And if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm sure Eugene will be happy to answer them. And I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later. Peace.